Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Miss Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. In the last video, we started playing the game variations. We played the one bear variation, and it is boring. It is very, very boring. Very easy, but very boring. Because you just have the one ghost. I mean, I tried to salvage that run, but honestly, once I hit a 6-digit score, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to cut it here. I'm just going to lose all three of my lives on purpose and just talk about the game, which I also did. And at the end of the last video, I talked about how Miss Pac-Man was originally Crazy Otto, and how it was created by GCC, General Computer Corporation, and how successful it was. And now that we have the basic, super important stuff out of the way, I will mention trivia after this video, where we will do the two-bear variation. Now, what color ghost will we have? We have orange and we have green, I think. Why is it green? Maybe it's supposed to be light blue? Huh. Well, nevertheless, let's go ahead and start the two-bear variation. This will get a little bit tougher. So, when I ate ghosts in one bear variation, I got 1,600 points out of it every time. Something tells me I'll get like 800 and then 1,600 or something like that. Alright, you eat that. And I didn't even pay attention to what happened. So, I'll have to do it again, apparently. And can you go over there for a hot minute there, Miss Pac-Man? Okay, it's 800. And no, we're not doing that. Not yet. I refuse to die on the first level. I'm actually not doing this with practice runs. I didn't do a practice run prior to making this video, so forgive me if it takes a while to get warmed up. There's 800, and there's 1,600. Okay, yeah, it is exactly as I predicted it would be. As scoring-wise. And they seem to be leaving me alone for the most part. And can I eat the other guy? Yes, I can. Managed to do it this time. Okay. Let's eat the ghosts. Again. And then there we go. So if you couldn't already tell, dots are worth 10. Power pills are worth 50. The usual scoring deal. And he didn't follow me in there at all. That's amazing. I'm beginning to think that the yeah, it is a light blue ghost. It looked a little green there for a second the first time I saw it when I was recording this. Well, am recording this. This is live commentary. But, yeah, it is the light blue. And it seems that the orange ghost is more likely to follow me than the light blue ghost. I should also mention that that's all? Oh, I thought I ran out of time there. Or was close to running out of time. That's why I didn't eat the ghost there. So yeah, the ghosts here in this game, they do act a little different compared to original Pac-Man. That was because people figured out the patterns to the ghosts. And I'm guessing GCC decided, hey, let's make it harder. Let's make the ghosts a little more unpredictable. So they did. And I'll probably have to read up on the behavior changes between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man when I get the chance, because I don't have them memorized off the top of my head, and, well, they're on Wikipedia anyway. So, there's that, I guess. Let's go ahead and eat that and get on to the second blue maze. So, yeah, really not much else to say. Hey, again, I thought he was coming after me. And, amazingly, the ghost did not. Let's go ahead and get all the things here and make things a little easier on ourselves. And that was worth it to get the pretzel there. Alright, get out of there. Oh no. Okay. Let's go ahead and get everything here. Oh, he left. At this rate, at this point, I'm probably not going to go for the ghosts anymore. Because, yeah, a lot less time on these mazes compared to the red and blue ones. But hey, at least we can get the apple now. That's cool. Still want to be careful. Really easy to, you know, do something I shouldn't and then run right into a ghost, which is never fun. And yeah, you... Oop. Yeah, the amount of time you get on these things really decreases. And I managed to get them away from me long enough to get the last of those dots. Excellent. Okay. Well, at least with the variants where you have less than 4 ghosts, it's easier to go for the corners and not get hurt. Because if you remember from when I played the original 2600 Pac-Man, going for the corners got me into a lot of trouble just like that. I mean, it was the easiest way to lose a life, bar none. And that's why I want to be careful about doing it even here. And let's go ahead and get to the banana maze. Now that we have made it there. And I may end it earlier compared to the last video because, well, let's face it, trying to get to 100,000 points with less than 4 ghosts in any way whatsoever, not fun. Because there was nothing exciting about it. There wasn't anything really going on. There wasn't any real challenge. There wasn't any real stakes. There wasn't any feeling of risk versus reward. If I wanted to do it, I would be able to go ahead and do it just right then and there. And boom. Right there. And now we are on the second green maze, and if we complete this, we will get the green-gray switch around for the rest of our playtime, which I'm going to cut short if it gets to that point, because it wasn't exciting with one ghost. It's not going to be any more exciting with just two. Okay. And we're getting the pair. Okay, I see. And I managed to make them move towards me right there, which was a terrible decision. Nope. And I saw him coming. Yeah, I was actually paying attention to that tunnel. And we did it! And you know what? I'd rather not waste your time. Alright. You know what? Since you're over there, that makes it easier. Oh, cool. You managed to come my way for once. Nice. And you did it again. Cool. Alright. What to say about this mode? Well, there's two ghosts. We had that little bit of excitement there at the end, where I could have died, and yet I didn't. But I still saw him coming. I wonder, if you play through the variants, how much better would it help you get? That's what I'm planning to find out. But anyway, I might as well start mentioning some more supplementary stuff to what I talked about concerning the game, its existence, and whatnot at the end of the last video. So, during the last video, it was clearly mentioned that GCC, General Computer Corporation, created Ms. Pac-Man originally as Crazy Otto, which was a enhancement kit for Pac-Man. It was basically a mod. And because they were sued by Atari over the Super Missile Attack conversion kit, the Super Missile Attack enhancement, they couldn't make Crazy Otto with Ms. Pac-Man without bringing it to the original game manufacturer. They had to have the original game manufacturer's consent in order to make it, and they had to bring it to either Midway or Namco, I'm guessing, and they brought it to Midway. And Midway liked what they saw, and they decided to go ahead and put Crazy Otto out there. They bought the rights to Crazy Otto. They worked with GCC and Namco to prepare the game for release, and during that time, they changed things. The game was renamed Super Pac-Man and contained Pac-Man as the lead character. Inspired by the cutscenes of Crazy Otto featuring Crazy Otto's female counterpart, the lead character was then made female, and the game was renamed again to Pac-Woman. That name was dropped in favor of Miss Pac-Man, MISS, but the developers then realized that given the third intermission showing a stork delivering a baby to Pac-Man and the player characters, I cannot speak to save my life. I tripped myself up right there. Basically, the third intermission, it showed a stork delivering a baby. And they had the feeling that people were going to look at that and be like, okay, are they married or is this out of wedlock? Because people. So they changed it to Ms. Pac-Man, MRS, to signify that she was married. And then finally to Miss Pac-Man, MS, because it rolled off the tongue more easily. Apparently it did matter, unlike what I said in the last video. Programmer Steve Golson said that in the span of just 2 weeks, it went from Crazy Otto to Super Pac-Man to Miss Pac-Man. These later changes, the 3 forms of Miss and Mrs., all occurred within 72 hours of actual production. I cannot English again to save my life. Shortly before release, Stan Jarocki of Midway stated Miss Pac-Man was conceived in part as a response to the original Pac-Man being the first commercial video game to involve large numbers of women as players, and that it was our way of thanking all those lady arcaders who have played and enjoyed Pac-Man. According to one 1982 estimate, a majority of Pac-Man players were women. This is corroborated by marketing chief Michael Leone of the Castle Park Entertainment Center, who noted that his company noticed a recent trend in our game pavilions that indicates a tremendous female acceptance of the Pac-Man game, further noticing that it was only natural for Midway to introduce a Ms. Pac-Man. GCC Doug Man, I can trying to say one word ahead of time and it always goes this way. GCC co-founder Doug McRae noted that Masaya Nakamura, Namco's president at the time, gave him direct feedback of the Miss Pac-Man character. In an interview, McRae said, "We sent out ROMs to Midway, and they sent them over to Japan for the president of Namco, Masaya Nakamura, to look at. He said, 'Love the concept, get rid of the hair.'" Makes sense. Easier to just put a bow on her and then animate her that way, because just less work overall. And you can tell that you're playing as a female Pac-Man still. Makes sense. He added, there was a little bit of embarrassment at Namco of the fact that the sequel was being done somewhere other than in their own laboratories. The arrangement that Namco had with Midway was that Namco would still get their royalty on Miss Pac-Man, and Midway could choose to do whatever they wanted in paying us a royalty, us being GCC, in addition to Namco. And then when the game became wildly successful, they, being GCC and Midway, had to do another court case to more or less get a better shake out of the deal. Toru Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man, is not known to have publicly commented on Miss Pac-Man, despite questions from reporters. And that's basically the trivia part. And of course, we know how it went when it came to the home console versions. Even in the 90s, though, the game would be just as successful. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, wasn't there something here about the Genesis version? Looking through this here real quick, I may have to use the find feature here. Alright, Genesis appears in this. The Genesis version of the game sold in more than 1 million copies in the United States. And as far back as 1996, the Genesis version of Miss Pac-Man was among the top 20 best-selling Genesis games. Very interesting. I mean, well, to be fair, you could make an arcade-perfect version of the game on Genesis. I mean, it was done with Frogger, so that doesn't really surprise me. Yeah, that's really all there is left to say, trivia and development history-wise, about this game. It started out as a mod, ended up becoming a true sequel. changed some stuff around, which I'll get into in the next video, and became very wildly successful and did even better than the original Pac-Man. Of course, because Namco didn't come up with it, though, it led to a bunch of disputes about who owned it, who got the royalties, all that, and it still kind of rages on to this day, which is why it's, for such a great game that it is, it's harder for new generations to enjoy it because, well, in an official capacity, because again, all those rights issues. But I have been talking for more than 20 minutes now, and I might as well go ahead and end this video. Join me next time where we play the 3-bear variation and see how things go for 20 minutes from there. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!